Jason. Today's episode of the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds of Lee Summit.
Budget Blinds!
Jason, our robot shade overlords are back at it again.
They are. Look, we are coming up upon the holidays, and I'm going to say this year, it's been hard to do good out in the world stuff. And Budget Blinds has been trying.
They have.
And they can't resist it. They have to do some good stuff for Christmas time.
So in the last few years, Budget Blinds has teamed up with us here at Link to Lee Summit. We've hosted a special story night with Santa. Kids come, they listen to Santa tell stories. We've got pictures with Santa. Well, I'm sure you guessed, we're not doing that this year.
You're not going to wait. We're not going to cram a whole bunch of people in the store and do that because COVID ruins everything.
But those people over at Budget Blinds, they're pretty creative. So here's what we're doing. We've got a special live stream event with Santa planned for Thursday, December 17th. Santa's going to join us live from his North Pole office.
And let's give Santa some props for getting Zoom up there. That's pretty impressive to get the bandwidth all the way to the North Pole.
I wonder if he gets Google Fiber. And if he does, is he paying as cheap as we are?
He probably has to pay a couple extra bucks. Maybe there's probably something with the Canadian thing that's going to mess it all up.
So Santa's going to read some of his favorite holiday stories, and he's going to answer some of your questions. So if you are watching along, you can type out some questions. We'll pass them to Santa, and he's ready to answer all of them. And as always, our friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit, they wanted to do a little extra good. So we're going to take donations during this live stream event too. Donations for Lee Summit Social Services are encouraged during that stream. You can follow our Storytime with Santa event page on Facebook for more information as we get closer. Oh yeah. Hey, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You better make sure you're on the nice list if you're going to watch.
You know, I reached a point at a certain age that I realized that the nice list is purely aspirational for me. So... But we're going to try. I'm going to try to get on the nice list so that I can get in and watch Storytime with Santa.
Well, so thank you to our friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit for making this live stream event happen on Thursday, December 17th. Make sure you are there to watch. And hey, if you're looking to do some stuff around the house, go see our friends at Budget Blinds. Tell them Jason and Nick sent you.
Again, and welcome to Lee Summit Town Hall, a weekly podcast about what you can do to make a difference. I am Jason Norbury, and as always, I am joined by a man who very much has started his Christmas countdown. It is Nick Parker, the publisher of Link to Lee Summit.
It's so true. I was about to break into the 12 Days of Christmas singing, but I'd like to keep the two listeners we have and not ruin it with my singing voice.
Don't alienate our few listeners with such a thing. And I know that Mrs. Link to Lee Summit is a big fan of the holiday decorating.
This is true
already. So you guys were on it before Thanksgiving, which I forgive because honestly, it's COVID year, and I'm not going to try to spoil anybody's joy.
This is the holiday Thunderdome this year. There are no rules.
Just please
you do what makes you and your family happy.
Be happy. But we even got I'm notoriously slow on the putting up the decorations, especially the climbing the ladder decorations. But I got those done. We are on it. We have an appropriate, what we will consider an appropriate amount of Christmas spirit in our house, and we're way to go. So Link to Lee Summit, as always, is the source you need for all the news about this very fine city. And our unofficial sponsor today is the post-Thanksgiving Slack, which I feel like I should be done with. But yet, here it is, like, as we record this Wednesday of the week following. And I'm still feeling maybe a little, I'm not quite back up to speed after those days off.
No, I think everybody's got a little extra fatigue going. But Jason, today's episode, even though we're posting late on the Wednesday this week, today's episode is a feel good. It's into the holiday spirit. We have Brett Jackson from KC Laser Company going to join us, and we're going to talk a little bit about what he's doing, and he's doing good, Jason. That's the best thing I can say.
Not only that, he's doing well, but he's also doing good with his.
He's doing some good.
He's doing some good. He's making good stuff happen. In addition to, I guess we'll say, sharing the spoils of his success with the local community, and you guys can hear, and you have an opportunity to go and nab yourself something that's cool and support one of our fine local charities.
If you haven't, or you are currently still decorating for Christmas, here's your chance to get some more holiday items. And the proceeds from it are going to go help a local charity.
We are here with Brett Jackson, the proprietor of KC Laser Company. Brett, how are you today?
Doing well. How are you guys?
I'm fine. Also on the line, other than Nick, is another guy, but we're not going to talk about it. He's here under protest. I'm going to say that. It's under protest that this man is here. I'm not even mentioning your name, Matt. Forget it. So, but we're not here to talk to Matt.
I want to use the word proprietor more often.
We're not here to talk to Matt. We are here to talk to Brett because Brett has taken his business and done something pretty cool with it. So, Brett, let's start before we get to the cool part. Let's start with tell us about KC Laser Company.
Yeah, so we started KC Laser Co. about a year and a half ago. Pretty much, I went and found a laser down in Springfield and hauled it on a trailer and brought it out to my garage. And my wife came and looked at it and said, "What are we going to do with that thing?" And from there, we kind of toyed around with making a bunch of little toys for kids and little custom made things for gifts for family members and things like that. And we started laser engraving leather, and it was just really cool. Creatively, there were so many possibilities with it. And we decided we wanted to start making hats. And so we've made hats for people all over the country, for different brands, for sports fanatics, kind of things like that. And over the past year, it's just kind of gone from Chiefs winning the Super Bowl to people ordering hats for their businesses to gifts for people. And now we're kind of into the holidays again and shipping out as many hats as we can each day. And so it's kind of, the business is kind of equal parts myself, who does all the design work and the lasering, and my wife, who does all the stitching. And on top of being a full-time mom of two wild boys, she's kind of the glue that holds us all together.
Well, we're going to do this a couple times just so people know where to find what you're doing. They can find you at kclaserco.com. And then you also have product available in some local stores, right?
Yeah, so we're on our website. We're also at Local Foundry there in downtown Lee Summit. And yeah, I've been working with those guys, Ben and Dave there. And they're awesome guys to work with. They've been really fair to us and helpful and suggesting different ideas and being flexible with what we needed to. And so it's great to be part of a shop that's kind of got a little bit of heart and spirit of downtown Lee Summit and the city in general, and just really connected to the rest of the community.
Brett knows how to butter us up here on this particular saying nice things about downtown Lee Summit. Good job, Brett. Good job. So.
He did his research.
Yeah.
Now, Brett, you and I met at Bridge Space a while ago. You are a videographer by training and by trade, I guess. So how did you get to the point where you said, "Hey, honey, I bought us a giant laser.
Yeah,
let's make leather hats"?
I would say that, and the only thing I answered with is either gunfire or divorce papers. And so, credit to your wife for one, but also, like, how'd you decide to buy a laser?
Yeah, so funny enough, my wife and I were on a little baby moon, I guess is what they call it, when we were about to have our second child, and we're like, let's get away. And we went down to Waco, Texas, and bought a gift from my parents that was laser engraved. And we just thought it was really cool. It's this big, giant Lazy Susan that's the top of a wine barrel. And so we customized it all, and they lasered it up and sent it out to us. And I was like, man, that just is so cool. I love the possibility to just do anything, with the laser, and whether it's a gift that's really important for somebody or whether it's just a little trinket, things like that. So I started looking and went, and I looked a lot at a lot of different lasers, and I bought about the biggest one I could find. It weighs about 700 pounds or so. So it's got to move it with a forklift.
Yeah, and, how much floor space does it take up? Because like you see the ads for the ones that sit on like your workbench, but this is not that.
No, it would take up like this whole space behind me, pretty much like this third of this whole room. So it's pretty significant. So I got about a quarter of my garage all dedicated to it, and a pretty big room in the basement all dedicated to the sewing machines we've got that my wife hand stitches all the hats. And so we've kind of turned our storage space into workspace. And so now storage is everywhere.
Did you already do a lot of kind of handcraft stuff? Is that a hobby, a thing that was kind of just already in your wheelhouse that you did? And
Yes. So I did some like woodworking, things like that, just as a hobby. Yeah. Just like I like to create things. And that's kind of what lended into video production as well, as I was creating things digitally and sharing those things. And so for me, creating hats or creating like these ornaments, things like that, is really satisfying because it's creating like a finished product that somebody can actually hold, physically hold and share and give away to someone else. So to me, that's really rewarding to see, people get excited about, getting to make their own hat or pick out their own style or send their logo. And a lot of people are, their first business action is getting some sort of apparel. And so they get this logo designed and then they don't know what to do with it. And it's really neat for us to be able to kind of help them get that first step and visualize their little idea as a brand or as something that they can share then or wear on them.
Well, that is cool. So let's rope this to this. So this season, you have decided to do a holiday ornament, local sports team themed, and you have decided to put a charitable spin on it. So tell us what you're doing, Brett.
Yeah, so I'll actually show you guys one. So I had a friend of mine pick these up at like a little, like the blanks that look just like that when I got them, that he picked those up at a little shop.
And for those of you following on audio only, he's holding up probably a 2-inch or 3-inch, 4-inch slab of wood. Looks like a crosscut of a big limb.
Yeah, and so a friend of mine dropped these off and was like, I don't know what you'll do with them. And so I had them sitting in my garage for a while and decided I wanted to do something cool with them. I have about 30 of them in there. And so I lasered on one of our logos that's got kind of the KC with an arrowhead and a crown on it. And so, yeah, I wanted to kind of find a way to give back, find a way to kind of do something cool. Might get people kind of excited and aware of some of the other, some charitable ways they can give back this season. And so, yeah, just kind of, I reached out to Nick and I knew he was kind of connected in with some of that. And he had nothing but great things to say about Lee's Summit Social Services and the work they've done. And I personally haven't been involved before, but it sounds like it's a great opportunity to give back in this way and then also build something down the road that we can kind of keep all working together.
Well, we're gonna pause real quick and just remind people you can find those. It's the KC Arrowhead and Crown Christmas ornament. It's at kclaserco.com. And here's the cool part, Brett, is you just told me you're giving all of the proceeds from this item over to Lee's Summit Social Services.
Yeah, so we're gonna sell them for $15 a piece, and that'll include, we'll cover the shipping to get them to whoever needs to, and then so all $15 of that's going to go to Lee's Summit Social Services. So 30 of them at $15. So we're gonna see where it goes and see how quick we sell them, and if we need to, if we sell them all immediately, we'll find a way to get people some more if they need to, and yeah, keep making it happen.
Well, that's do we let Matt talk, Jason? What are we? Well, what are we thinking here?
I think if we can keep him from speaking, it's honestly, it doesn't count as an appearance on the show, so he can't climb back up the leaderboard. So I think this may be our goal to work through this whole process. But I will say this, Matt. Actually, we're going to give Matt a chance to talk because obviously the recipient of the charitable contribution, the very kind thing that Brett and his family are doing for it is Lee's Summit Social Services. So it seems only fair to let Matt say a few words to Brett about what we're going on here and get that on the air. So Matt, I guess I have to let you talk a little.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I hit a button and Matt can't talk anymore.
So we should let Matt say thank you. Be all charitable and kind.
You did mute me.
You did.
Well, first and foremost, Brett, thank you. I tell you what you guys are doing over there, you're doing, you bought that laser, and I've talked to so many people, I don't know, in the last few years that said, if I could do something that made me happy, it would change everything, and we would sacrifice certain things in our lives for a period of time in order for us to be able to do something that we're happy about. And you were on a baby moon, like you said, and came back with a laser ish, something like that. I mean, that's the thing. the cool thing about it is, we're grateful for you, and the community is grateful for you. Not only are you providing a cool product, and like I said, I was going through your website, and my wife is going to be irritated with me. But the other part is thank you for giving back. COVID in 2020 is not a good time for a lot of us, and to have people like you that are inserting yourself into the business market and getting involved and retailing some really cool stuff, and to consider helping your local community, that doesn't happen everywhere. It was a shame that you had to talk to Nick, because we try to avoid that at all costs. They don't let me talk on the show.
Fair.
But more importantly, the fact that you were willing to do this, we're grateful. We've got 700 kids that are going to be coming into our Christmas store this year that are going to need help, and so we're doing our best with what we have during a really difficult time. But people like you, and in a young career, and someone, you're starting this career, or you've been in this career for a little while, but you're going to be doing it for years to come. I hope this relationship with you and the community that needs you will last for a long time. And it doesn't matter which nonprofit it is, but this is the behaviors, these are the mentalities, this is the support that all of our nonprofits need, and I'm grateful. So thank you for that. And Nick and Jason, if you want to mute me again, you're welcome to, but I'm grateful, and our agency is grateful. Thank you.
Well, this goes to the, Jason, this goes back to the conversation you and I had when we first started this podcast back in 2016, was we wanted to show people how easy it was to get involved, to support different causes and charities around. And here it was, Brett made one Facebook message and he was able to figure out, but Matt, I'm gonna bring you back in. Actually, this is kind of a thing that happens. It's happened even this week. Another company has said, "Hey, we'll help you out with sales," and we see it all the time with different charities and different business organizations. 2-3 weeks ago, Sabor Latino opened up on a Sunday when they're usually closed and said, "Hey, a percentage of everything we sell on this extra day is going to go help Prodeo Youth Center." So this is a pretty good way that businesses can kind of just jump in and help out the local charities.
Yeah, this is a really difficult time for a lot of people and a lot of businesses. And so I've had people tell me, I can give you the time I have, but I have $0. And some people say I can give you money, but I can give you no time. For businesses that are starting out, if there's if there's an opportunity there in some way, shape, or form, if they can draw more business for themselves and benefit one of those charities, it's a win-win for everybody. And if it's awareness that we're looking for, marketing that we're looking for, it's a win-win for everybody. And so it's not uncommon. But the cool thing about it is, it's not you're not gonna get rich either on the merchandiser side, or the manufacturing side, or the nonprofit side. But what you're doing is keeping the awareness. You're making sure that the community always knows, and you're engaging where you may not have known you could engage, because everyone sees these big hits of $20,000 or this massive group volunteering. And that's not what nonprofits like us need. We need people to understand what we do. We need people like Brett to engage in the community, because that's what drives our community. It's the love for the community. It's the engagement and the involvement in the community that makes this community tick. And I don't know that we're unique, but we are a special community. And I've been here so long, I don't really know what else is out there in the sense of community. And so there is a high bar set from a community that cares. And Brett, this is the first time we've actually seen each other, I believe. And I appreciate you. Thank you. And thanks for talking to Nick and getting to this point. And I hope this relationship lasts for a very long time. And what you're doing is exactly what the entire community needs to see and hopefully continues to do, because that's the only way that we can help our local families out, is exactly what you're doing. Sorry, I talked too much. I apologize.
I
Well,
appreciate it.
I think we can all agree on that, Matt. So
Well, Brett, this actually isn't the first time you've done. If I remember correctly, you did
Mhm.
something similar to this last year around the holiday season as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did then. I know I've done a few different things. We did a couple months ago. I did like a little laser-a-thon activity where people just brought whatever they wanted to laser and paid whatever they wanted to raise money for Hillcrest. We've done some other little things with Prodeo and working with them and things like that. But we love to give back. It's part of kind of our core foundation of we've been pretty blessed with what we've been able to do and grown immensely in this year. And we love to find ways to give back to other people.
Tell us a little bit more about that. You say it's kind of a core value for your family, and it's a family
Mhm.
business. This is you and your wife. Where does that come from?
Yeah, so a lot of it kind of comes from my faith. As far as I'm a Christian and really study the Bible a whole lot and look at how much we've been blessed with what we have, and how much we've been really just been given. And so we work hard at what we do, and a lot of what we do comes back to just our family and being able to provide for them, and just being aware that not everybody is so lucky as us to be in a position like we are to be able to buy a laser or to be able to work for themselves or have the flexibility, the abilities to do that stuff. So, part of what we really like is finding ways to just give people a step that they can then better themselves. Even if it's a meal, that's a great first step. If it's something like Hillcrest, where it's a home for a few months and education and things like that, those are things that are really, bettering people's lives to us is so impactful and so meaningful.
Fantastic. Well, before we wrap things up, let's take a few minutes too, and let's give you a chance to tell everybody what else do you have out on your website? What are other products and things that people can find? Because when they go buy these ornaments, they should probably add to their cart and purchase some other things as well.
absolutely, and that is, by the way, kclaserco.com, just to make sure that the people are catching it.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff on the website. There's all sorts of hats from everywhere from outdoorsy mountainous type hats to Chiefs hats, kind of themed. We have kind of a pretty wide variety of just KC, if you're just a big fan of Kansas City and the culture there. We've got just a pretty wide selection. If people have a company themselves and want to order hats with their own custom patch, we do a lot of that. Whether it's just a couple or 100 of them, we can kind of help. So yeah, pretty much everything. If you can think of something cool that you want laser engraved, we can probably find a way to do it.
I hear you've got some stuff under the Patrick Mahomes theme. He's kind of a popular guy around these parts.
Yeah, he's breaking records every week, it seems like.
Matt couldn't resist buying it and getting some homie stuff. So.
Can we do something for the barbecue team?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I tell you
Oh,
what,
good.
I tell you what, we need to put that at our next meeting for when the festivals, the chili
When we're
and
allowed
wing
to-
festivals come back.
When we're allowed to go out in public together again. Definitely looking at that for our wing and barbecue team. So.
Well, Brett, I want to thank you not just for your time coming on the show today, but also we like to say good on you to people who are out doing good things in the community. We appreciate your support in the community and for helping out organizations like Lee Summit Social Services. So thank you for that, and thanks for helping out. And one more time, Jason, people need to go buy the KC Arrowhead and Crown Christmas ornaments. And where can they do that?
kclaserco.com.
There we go.
Perfect.
Brett, Matt, thank you both
Yeah.
for coming on the show today. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the work you guys do in the community. That'll wrap us up for this episode. We'll talk to everybody next time.